Hello, my name is Irfandi Ceka Octaviano, and today I will present you the final test for applied linguistics. So this is the problem one, and the question: what linguistic feature should Mr. Thompson focus on to identify bias in the reporting? So the solution is the first is lexical choice, semantic and stylistic. And the choice of vocabulary used to describe people, event, or action. So why it matters? Certain words carry positive or negative connotation, subtly framing the event or person. The impact is lexical choice, active emotional response, and frame perspective. Encourage reader to take side without realizing it. So the next is framing and presupposition, pragmatic and discourse analysis. So what it is how information is structured and what assumptions are embedded in the sentence. Why it matters? Because journalists can subtly influence readers by framing events a certain way or including biased presupposition. The impact guides how readers interpret facts and people's motive and frames the moral narrative behind the news event. The third is agency and voice, critical discourse analysis, and syntax. Use of active versus passive voice and how agency worded that what is shown or obscure. Reporter can hide or emphasize responsibility depending on who they want to protect or blame. The impact is passive construction can obscure agency, shifting focus away from power structure or responsibility. This can protect institutions or groups. So the next is transdisciplinary approach. And the first is linguistics and journalism. Use linguistic tools to teach journalistic ethics, promoting objective reporting and language awareness. Train journalists to recognize linguistic bias in their own writing and avoid manipulative framing. The next is applied linguistics and public relation. Understand how PR agencies use language to manage public perception, free-frame scandal, or of soften criticism. Monitor how press releases are linguistically engineered to influence journalist coverage. And the next is applied linguistics and content creation. Apply critical analysis to social media news, clickbait headline, and viral content. Train content creators to avoid misinformation and understand audience manipulation through language. And another example of the cases is the flood news. And the first of all is the last week, heavy rain caused a big flood in a town called River Bay. So many homes were damaged and people had to leave quickly. So the next day, the news website post stories. The news sites A wrote unprepared villagers living in illegal houses cause problem. The flood created chaos in the area. And the news site B wrote hundreds of families lost their home as the government failed to fix the river walls. People are asking for help and action. So the problem in news is say things like illegal house and unprepared villagers. So this word made up people sound like it was their fault. And the news B used word like lost homes and failed to fix, which blame the government, not the villager. So in the term of applied linguistics, in, the first is semantic. The words used in the news story can make readers feel sympathy or not. So saying unprepared sound blaming and saying lost homes sound caring. In pragmatics, some sentences suggest things without saying them directly. For example, illegal house suggests the people did something wrong. And that's the another cases. The next is uh, next we'll explain this, yeah, the problem too and solve that using applied linguistic theories. So the first is sociolinguistic language in education planning, design bilingual or multilingual education models. Support additive linguistics is teach indigenous language alongside the national language. Study language attitudes and identity to ensure policies are accepted by the communities. The second is ethno-linguistics. Integrate cultural knowledge in indigenous language teaching to keep the language relevant and authentic. Use community-based material, folk story, traditional song, or oral story in this classroom. The third is discourse analysis and critical discourse analysis uh, yes, and analyze how education policies and textbooks frame indigenous language. Example, marginal or central. Revise curriculum to portray indigenous language as valuable and modern, not just traditional. And the next is transdisciplinary applications. First is applied linguistics and public policy. Create an inclusive language in education policies that mandate the use of indigenous language in school, fund teacher training, textbook production, and community language projects. Recognize indigenous language in national examination to increase prestige. The second is applied linguistics and TEFL. Train bilingual teachers to teach both English and indigenous language. Use content and language integral learning or CLEL to teach academic subject in indigenous language alongside English or national language. And the third is applied linguistic and content creation. Collaborate with local culture to produce digital content like YouTube, TikTok, or Story Up in indigenous language. Encourage youth to document their culture in native language using accessible multimedia tools. And the last is applied linguistic and sustainability specialists. Promote indigenous language as part of cultural sustainability and partner with informal educators to teach climate and ecological issues in indigenous language. And that's all the presentation. And thank you. Bye.